Stacey, here we are.
Hey, Michael, how are you? 73.
73. Listen, I want to ask you something about this 73 placard you have there.
Yes.
I'm very impressed with this. You've got like the ring tag on there. It's very bold. The letters are all capital. It's spelled right. 73. What do you do? Like you print those out weekly and then put it on? Or
Yeah.
okay.
Well, I think I started this episode 3. So this is the
Yeah.
70th episode with this.
Wow, with that.
But the girls in between the rounds, I was like, oh, it kind of is like a boxing thing. I thought it would be cute.
If we could just, you brought up something interesting, ring card girls.
Yeah.
Is that politically correct nowadays?
Probably not. They still have them though, right? Don't they?
I don't know. I haven't seen a boxing match in a while. I don't know. I wonder.
Research that.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have the same effect if you had like a woman dressed in an Amish garb in the ring. It doesn't have the same effect for the drunken pigs in the audience, right?
No. Most of these guys like an attractive young lady.
Yeah, not to say Amish women aren't attractive. Amish women are, the way they churn butter and the way they milk cows.
I have an Amish story. Can I tell you?
No, come on.
Yes, there's 2 markets that we go to here because we're right against Kentucky. And so there are 2 markets that we go to that are owned by Amish families. And speaking of beautiful, there's one of the girls there. She's at the register. The girl, she could be a supermodel.
Really?
Gorgeous, not an ounce of makeup on her. She has her little bonnet on and her dress down to her ankles. Beautiful, sweet.
Wow.
So just, I don't know. So there's something about that old way, off the grid way that is just sweeter. They're very sweet.
It is. And you would think, and here's one more thing, living off the grid, you would think like, I had this conversation in the past with a bunch of people, and you ever notice, I don't know if people down there have it, but here, like, not here, I'm outside of Philly, but in Lancaster County, huge Amish location, and they're wearing Nikes and they have cell phones.
They do.
At what point did that happen?
I know. It's funny. I've been through there, and do you know the name of the town that I've been through in Pennsylvania where all the Amish
probably
live?
Blue Balls.
Blue Balls. Intercourse.
Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Maybe that's where we should move the home office to. Intercourse, Pennsylvania. People Google that. That is a real place.
That is a real place.
It's only about 50 miles from where I am. It's very close. And it's bird in hand. That's another town that's out there.
Yep.
It's crazy with these. Jesus. I feel for the Amish coming up with those names.
I think they're having fun in secret.
Yeah. Or maybe in Blue Balls Township, if they're not having so much fun. I don't know. Hey, what the hell is next, Stacey?
Anyway, I wanted to say thank you to everyone. Everyone knows it's Apollo April. And so I just took a chance. I'm like, hey, who is the Apollo in your life? Oh my gosh, the submissions we've been getting. Go check out our story posts because
please do.
Yeah, everybody's thanking their cousin or their friend or their dad or their mom. There's all these nice stories out there. And I love that. It was a really, really nice way for people to say thank you to the people who encourage them. So I loved that. I'm going to continue it. So even as that post expires, I think I'm going to continue those submissions through the end of April.
You should, because I think that's very good. And I haven't added my own Apollo story. I have a good friend, like I told you in the past, Stace, I only have 2 friends, a guy by the name of Joe Ayub and Mark Zhang. These are 2 guys that's it. If anyone comes to you and lays claim that they know me and are friends with me, no one's coming forward. People say people who went to school with me are saying, well, we don't know him. He never went to West Side. He didn't graduate in 86. But if anyone was to say that they were close or my friends or whatever, no. But there were 2 guys in high school that were my friends. And it was the 2 guys I just mentioned. And they both have very special, intricate parts in my life. And for the Apollo month, my friend Mark, he really does. I really should do something. I should send you a story to post on Rocky Files because it's he was quite an enduring young man. Well, at the time, now he's old like us. Not like you. You're young. Me, old like me.
I'm old.
No. You're older. I'm oldish. No. Anyways, so yeah, please keep those stories coming. That's a great idea. I love that Apollo April. That's really good. Do we know who we're doing for May?
No, I don't. I don't yet. I'm not sure.
Well, we could go a couple different ways. You could go with like Buddy the Driver May. Who is that person you wanted to punch in the mouth? I think we have a lot of those.
Yes.
Right?
That's a good idea.
I know. And we didn't do Gazzo yet, right?
Right. No, we didn't.
And I'm saving, I think we saved Paulie November. Paulie for, you want the bird? Go in. I think we saved Paulie for November.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Absolutely. No question.
Maybe a Spider Rico, May. I don't know. We got to figure out who we can use for May.
Right.
All right.
We're going to think on that. Hey, let's put that in the live chat. Who should we do for May?
Yeah. Go on.
Live
put that down
that
in. Go do your typing, will you? Because this is interesting. I really want to hear this. I want to see who and what you all come up with.
Yeah. Let's see. Next on the list, we have Miss Talia Shire. I absolutely love this picture. Women aren't allowed to age. Men are allowed to age, but women aren't allowed to age. But she looks so beautiful in this picture, and she is gorgeous. And she is 77, and we just want to say happy birthday to her. Here's some of our favorite pictures of Miss Talia Shire.
Look at this beauty.
My favorite. Once again, John Rivoli, if you're listening, if you want to paint this, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. And then this is a later picture of her as well.
Look at this. I mean, she's a timeless beauty. She's classic. And you know what, Rivoli? Listen. Come here. Get closer to the screen, will you? If you're watching Rivoli, you got to do something extraordinary with Adrian. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
John, you and I have talked about it. You know better than anyone the Adrian factor, and I'm excited. John told me about a week and a half ago. He wrote me. I think it was actually last week. He said I'm gonna curse here for a second, okay? So kids, go out of the room.
Out of the room.
John writes me and he goes, Mike, you're gonna shit when you see what I'm doing next. And I go, okay. That's always a good thing because, hey, who can't appreciate a good one of those and a Rivoli painting?
Right.
So I'm looking forward to that, John. So, very excited, buddy. Very excited.
An Adrian one would be awesome. I'll be the first one to buy it. I can tell you that. Okay. So there's been a lot of cool posts lately, and it made me start thinking about our guests. And I'm like, I love all our guests, but we have some guests that are wildly talented, that are actors, writers, directors, and we don't have enough time in this opening to mention them all. But 3 things I've seen recently that were very, very cool. So first, I just wanted to bring up Kirsty Strain. She was episode 65. She was in this movie called Snapshot. Now, I want you to all take a close look. Look at how washed up and sort of desperate looking this, she's playing this actress. And it's a movie about a woman whose life basically changes on a dime and how everything can change in a moment. And I have got to stream it somehow. I want to see it, but
she looks like she could be sitting underneath the L up in Kensington.
Right.
That's exactly. She looks like she's one of those lost souls in Kensington.
Yep.
What a fantastic! I hope we got to find a way to stream this.
Yep. And she was nominated for Best Actress, and she won. So we just wanted to say congratulations to her. The official selection, Scotland.
Fantastic. Way to go.
Yep. So I was just so proud of her for that. You put your guts out there. It's a very vulnerable place. Like, I would never want to be an actress.
Right.
To me, that's a very vulnerable position to be in, and you're pouring your whole guts into it. And I'm just like, oh,
yeah.
To be recognized. And then Derek Wayne Johnson, we love. He is episode 31. Go check him out there. His alma mater. So he posts this the other day. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but excited to announce in the fall of 2023, I will begin a new journey as an assistant professor of filmmaking at my alma mater, Stephen F. Austin State University. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting for him.
You know, I have never look how handsome he is too.
He is
Look at that mustache and that beard. I think I told him how jealous I was because when I grow a beard, it comes in like I'm
right. Yes.
poor, pathetic. Derek's beard is so manly.
Oh, yeah.
He's right up there with Chuck Norris in the beard. Like I think Derek has a fist that comes out from his beard and to knock people out. Exactly. Derek is such a manly man. I just love this guy. He really is.
Yeah.
And to go back to to have that gravitas, to go back and to teach what you're learning. And Derek's still a young guy.
He is.
He's a young guy, and to acquire this knowledge so quickly and so profoundly, and you know, to have a big feather in the cap, you know, a Stallone feather in your cap, that's a big deal. That really is a big deal. And Derek, I'm so happy for you. Continued success, my friend.
Yeah, very proud of him. And just so excited that we had him on here.
Yeah.
Twice actually. Yep. And then Lorenzo, I just love Lorenzo. He just the energy. He always makes me smile. He always, you know, he'll message me every now and again and just send me some positive random thing out of nowhere. And I'm like, Lorenzo, that was perfectly timed. Thank you so much.
Are you sure that's Lorenzo?
Look at how handsome he is.
No, I don't think that's Lorenzo. I think that's Milo.
Well, I
thought that was Milo. Come on.
Right? Oh, yeah. No, he could.
I know.
Could. He absolutely could. Let's look at that again. Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Look at that. You got to get a side by side. You got to throw Milo in here and let's just see. There is something. If Lorenzo just crooks his lip down a little bit, a little, I think, you know, Milo, he may have a new stand-in.
I'm going to cut in a side by side right here.
I love that. Beautiful. And, look at that.
Wow.
Yo, does the Kunda know or does the Kunda know? Okay. The K-man knows.
Absolutely. So he has had these really cool posts and it makes you appreciate this first came up around like Michael Jackson and Thriller and all the makeup that he had to do for his videos and everything and how much time it takes.
Right.
Okay. When I saw this, I'm like, is he injured? This is so horrible. So this is a gruesome picture, but it's all makeup, people. So here we go. Look at this. I'm like, is this for a part? I'm waiting to hear back from him, but this is makeup. Okay. And here's one of the makeup artists that was working on him.
It's like he's going into The Walking Dead.
Right. And then here's the next one is a burn on his arm. This is awful. And I'm a nurse. That is very real to life. That's
insane.
So I don't know. It just, you
does everybody notice his boxing glove charm? Look at that.
Yes.
Look at that. I love that. Of course, I'm drawn inexplicably to the green gum in his mouth. But that's amazing. What do you think that is, Stacey? Do you think that's like third-degree burns, a nuclear burn?
Yeah, it's something. Either he was rescuing someone in a fire or who knows, nuclear. Who knows?
Knowing Lorenzo, he probably was rescuing someone in a fire.
Anyway, I can't wait to hear more about what this is. I messaged him. I haven't heard back yet. I'm like, what is this for? Are you in a new movie? What's going on? So as we know more, we will post that. But those are the latest on some of our most talented guests. I was just like, wow, look at these guys. So,
you know, it's an amazing thing because a lot of those people, if I remember correctly, they were inspired by what they saw in Rocky.
Yeah.
In part. I mean, I know a lot of them have a mixed bag of inspiration, but of course, Rocky and Stallone were a huge part of that. And it just goes to show you the love I have for this podcast. It does because it's by fans, for fans, about fans. And I know we've had some, you know, maybe upper class people, classmen in entertainment wise.
Sure.
I know we have, and that's great. And we're going to continue that trend. But the big kicks I get, it's from hearing from your average, everyday Joe, Mary, Bob, and Lisa. I love that. I do.
It's true.
Yeah. How it affects us. Speaking of your everyday average guy, Do we have anyone that we're interviewing, or are we out of here?
And no, you, as usual, have a front row seat to some of our best guests.
I do.
You do. You bumped into this guy on one of your tours, Tony Peach. Tell us about Tony Peach, and I'll
All
bring
right.
him in.
All right, so here I am. I have my Birmingham Irish shirt. This guy, Tony, is such a dreamboat. Not only is he handsome, wise, he has like Yoda's wisdom, and he has like John Wayne's rugged good looks. Like, this guy is a killer out there, okay? But I like this guy because of his heart.
Yeah.
This guy is a very gentle soul, and I've got a few stories I'm going to tell about him when he gets on, because I want to hear his take on it. But his name is Tony Peach, and he is one of the nicest guys I've met in quite a while. And he's got some interesting takes on the character of Rocky. Is he here by chance?
He is here. 3, 2, 1. Hey,
Hi
Tony.
there.
Hey,
How you doing?
oh, Tony, no baloney. How are you, my friend?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, my friend. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I see we're both wearing our favorite shirts. You've
got
got
our
a Rocky
Rocky.
shirt.
Yeah.
I've got Birmingham Irish. A very lovely gift from you and your daughter, which I appreciate very much. How are you, my friend?
I'm absolutely fine. How are you? And you, Stacey?
I'm good. Let me tell you, Tony, I don't usually post until I record. I usually wait for the recording just in case something happens. So I took a chance. I posted you yesterday.
Right.
Everyone is like, I can't wait. Great guy. I mean, the post blew up. I'm like, oh my gosh. So everyone is very excited to see you. Just so
Good.
you
Well,
know. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
I knew Tony wouldn't let us down, because I know Tony's family a little bit, and there's no way Tony's family was going to let us down.
No.
They're good. They're good peeps, as I say back in the beginning of the episode. Good peeps. Tony, before we get into stories and shared memories that we have, for you, what is it about the character of Rocky that you love?
Well, it was 1976, wasn't it, when Rocky came out? And
Yes, sir.
I was 22 in 1976. So I went to the local cinema with my best friend Alan, who sadly died now. But the story, which I was just expecting to see a boxing movie. And then when I came out of there, I thought, that's not a boxing movie. That is a love story with boxing in it, which I think a lot of other guests have said as well.
Yeah.
And it was just the philosophy of the man in that story that just carried on through all the Rockies as well. And I actually went back to see it 5 times.
Nice.
On my own. Alan wasn't such a big fan, but I went back about 5 times on my own to see it. And from that time, it was just the philosophy of the man, just the man himself, that the sayings that he come out with, the wisdom that he came out with, that just inspired me like it inspires all the Rocky fans.
Yeah.
I think anyhow. And that's what got me into Rocky completely.
You know, Tony, I think you bring up a good point. It's the philosophy of this character.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of us, myself included, I've always felt like a square peg in a round hole, like I never belonged.
Yeah.
But the character from a very young age gave me insight, gave me a North Star. Along with my parents' upbringing, that were the building blocks of that. But there was a North Star effect from Rocky that I feel is universal across. Stacey, you would agree with that, right?
Oh, 100%. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I came from a very poor background. I mean, my dad was worked on a farm. My mom had to go and clean people's houses to make money up, but sometimes we had no money. But my dad really, and his philosophy was, up, tomorrow's going to come whatever, and we'll get through it.
Yeah.
You know, where there's a hill, we're going to climb over it.
Now, you don't sound like you're from Philly. You're from outside of Philly, right?
I am, yeah.
Way outside.
Yeah.
Where are you from, Tony?
Originally I'm from Warwick, which is a Midland town, not very far from Birmingham. And I was actually brought up in the country. We lived in a house, you know, which was tied to the farm, which my dad worked on. farm workers didn't get no money, you know, whatever.
Really?
Farm people owned it, but they didn't get no money. And
Yeah.
we struggled really, but the upbringing from my mom and my dad taught me that respect people.
Yeah.
You've got to have a dream and try and get to that dream and just work hard.
Yeah.
And if there's a problem, sort the problem out and talk to people. You know, you need help, go and ask people.
I
And
think that's
what I'm going
absolute. Talk to people, right? Just
Yeah.
talk to people.
Yeah. And I think it makes a difference. But when I first saw Rocky, it was the story, and it was the love story, and it was he needed Adrian behind him to keep him going, and he needed his friends there.
Right.
But he didn't have a lot of friends. Rocky didn't have a lot of friends. I haven't got a lot of friends.
I don't have any friends. I got very few.
Yeah.
You're looking at one of my friends right there in the lower right screen. That's it.
But I don't, you know, but I've got acquaintances and that. But even on the Rocky tour, when we came on the Rocky tour last year, you know, we met some great people on that Rocky tour.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
You did.
Mate, great people. There they go. Look.
Hey, look at them, huh?
Look at us.
Look at that motley crew. I love that.
Look at that crew there. And, you know, all of them were absolutely brilliant. And, you know, Sean and Irene, who I'll tell you a little bit about later as well, absolutely fantastic, really fantastic, but nice people. And that's what brings, I think, everybody together. And who brings it all together?
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's the North Star that brings all us lost sailors at sea
Yes.
into port. I love that.
I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Now, I know I'm going to jump around a little bit, but I want to put up a picture here. I'm going to jump way ahead to last year when you and your daughter Maria met Rocky. Would you put that picture up, Stace?
I have it in two. So I have it here with them.
Right.
Yep.
That's Maria's mom, right?
That's Maria's mom, yeah.
Right.
And then I have this here.
That's me and Rocky.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look
at that. Now,
absolutely brilliant.
Now, what's going through your mind at this point?
Oh, God. Well, you know, in 1976, there's a few things that I never thought would happen. One is coming to Philadelphia and seeing where it was filmed. You know, that was it. And that, to be honest, that was Maria. She's a massive Rocky fan. Massive.
Yes, she is. She is a big fan.
And she said, we're going to go to Philadelphia. And we did New York and Philly. Then we came back and we did Washington and Philly. Then we came back on the tour. Yeah. But we queued up for hours to get that picture taken. And I mean hours, really. Because that was at the Arnold Schwarzenegger function that he put on in Birmingham. Yeah. We met lots of nice people in the queue as well. I mean, they were all Rocky fans. So, and then you walk around the corner and all you see is Sylvester Stallone there, and your heart stops. Well, mine did. My heart stopped, and you don't get long with him because obviously they've got to keep the queue moving. But you know, you meet the man, and you just stand by him, and you just realise that that's the person that you've been watching on the films. Yeah. And you never thought you'd meet the man. But, you know, he said, hello, how are you? And I said, pleased to meet you and everything. And he just seemed, I mean, I haven't met him but he just seemed a real genuine man. Really, really genuine.
He is.
And where you said, Mike, he is, And it was just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. I mean, Maria's seen him 3 times.
I was going to say, I noticed that. Yeah.
I know. I don't know where she comes up with the ways to do this, but the kid, she's pretty resourceful as a young lady.
She's very resourceful. But when you first meet him, you just think, I can't believe I'm meeting this guy. Right. I just cannot believe him. And you do want to stop. You think, God, I really want to chat to him there, but you have to move on because of all the film. But no, just the fact of meeting him was just good.
Have you, like, so people think crazy things. I've seen crazy things go down with Sly. I've seen grown men 6'4" burst into tears trying to hand him a letter in a restaurant. I've been right there when it's gone down, and it's humiliating. At any point, do you think of trying to put Stallone in a headlock like he got on Thunderlip's back and choke him out so he passes out? So then there you go on the international news and they say, a nut job out of
Yeah.
Birmingham choked out
Yeah.
Stallone today. You'll be remembered forever. Did you
I
ever
would
True.
be. I would be remembered forever. What I'd like to do really is sit down and have a drink with him.
Yeah.
Sit down in a restaurant, have a coffee with him, talk
Right.
about what he's done. Not what he's just done to me, but what he's done for all the Rocky fans as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Mhm.
he knows. I'm sure he knows that,
Mm.
the joy that what he's brought into everybody. And
Yeah.
and like we said earlier, the philosophy. The
The
film
philosophy.
it's more than a boxing film.
Totally.
It tells you, you listen to some of the lines in the films, and I don't remember every line.
Yeah.
And to be a Rocky fan, I don't think you need to know every single
No.
No.
line,
Mhm.
but you listen to things and you think, God, yeah, where did I hear that? I heard that in Rocky. I heard that in Rocky 2, Rocky 3,
Exactly.
whatever it might have been.
Yeah.
And it's just, you just don't get tired of watching them. Well, I don't.
No, I
No.
don't.
I don't.
I don't ever get tired of watching them.
No, not at all.
If you had to rank your Rockies,
Yeah.
1 through Balboa, we're not even going to discuss the spinoffs. We're just que puta. Yeah. No, if you were to rank 1 through Balboa, how would you rank them?
I'd say Rocky is my favorite.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's it. When I first saw that in '76 and going into the early '77s because it was
Yeah.
showing at the cinema, my favorite. Rocky, and when he went back and had the refight in it, that's my second favorite. I like all of them, but those two really stick out to me.
Gotcha.
They
Gotcha.
really do stick out to me, and they're just my two favorite films. With some of my two favorite lines in as well, they're just good
What
films.
are your favorite lines?
Well, I think, in Rocky 2, when he's training to go and fight again, and
Yeah.
Adrian's not fully behind him, she
Mhm.
doesn't want him to fight.
Mhm.
And you see Rocky going through the motions, but he's not really into it, is he, at all?
Right.
And then Adrian's sick and she's in hospital and she's really poorly. And then she comes around and Mickey's there and Adrian says to him, win. Yeah. And then he says, what? And she said, win. Then you just see everything changing.
Yes.
Mickey goes balmy. What are we
Yeah.
waiting for? And off they go. And then he just changes completely because
Yes.
he needs that person behind him to support him, as we all do.
We all do.
As
Yeah.
we all do. We've all got people behind us who, I've got a lovely family. Got my 2 grandchildren,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
got Maria, got Sarah, got a lovely family around me. And you need that family to support you.
I would
Yeah.
agree.
I think anyhow. So that's one of my favorite scenes. I
Stacey.
really do like that.
Stacey, pop quiz. I haven't heard your ranking of the Rockies. What are they? Go.
Oh, 3-1 Balboa. For me.
I love
yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I think Rocky, just the Rockies, because it's the first one I've seen. And the
Right.
story that came out of that as well. And the film itself, the scenes in the film, the training scene, everything in the film, it just, I don't know, it just fills you up really.
Yeah.
And very emotional. The films are emotional, whatever
Very much
anybody
so.
says.
Yeah.
All the films are really, so it's good. And then, if you're thinking about like the saying, I think in Rocky 3,
Yeah.
when Paulie's having a go at Rocky, where he wants to take him on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And then,
of course.
and then at the end, Paulie says, I got a job. And what did Rocky say? All you've got to do is ask.
Ask, yeah.
And that's that. But isn't that life really?
Yeah.
If you've got a problem, all you've got to do is just ask.
You don't have to
And
be angry and lash out.
No.
Just ask. What do you
No.
need?
Mhm.
And if somebody can help you, if I can help anybody, I'll help people.
I
And
love
I'd
that.
like to think people do that as well. So yeah, I mean, that's it.
Well, that's a great segue, Tony, into a couple of stories I want to kind of mention here. Some
Yeah.
I think I told Stacey and some I haven't mentioned at all. So the first time your daughter, Maria, she calls or she emails me and
Yeah.
she says, I want to bring my father over and take your Rocky tour.
Yeah.
She goes, I'm a huge fan. And I said, okay. So I pick you guys up. I think it was like March of 18. I think it was. It sounds about
Yeah,
right.
it was, yeah.
So we go to all the sites and you guys are oogling and wow, oh my God, that's it. And I'm telling you stories. And it's like in my mind, I'm like, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
They're seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
All these sites, they've never seen them before.
Yeah.
And so the tour ends. I thank you very much. I give the both of you a hug, and off we go.
Yeah.
And so I did a follow-up email with Maria, your daughter. And she goes, oh, yeah, right, about that. So we've been there before. We took another Rocky tour before yours, but, you know, yours was the best. And I thought, wow. They made me believe, because they were so kind and they were so good-natured. They didn't blow it for me. Because I think they knew my thing is seeing fans see this location for the first time. Tony, when you take the tour for the first time let me ask you the first time you took your tour.
Yeah.
Obviously, that tour company was nowhere near as good as mine. Obviously.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's a given.
And the first tour, you know, we went right with the steps and we saw Rocky's house and everything. And it was exciting because that's the first time we'd seen it.
Sure, of course.
And just a little story there. When we first got on the first trip, I think we were staying at the Sheridan Hotel, I think it is, and we'd got up to about the 15th floor or something. And I looked out the window and I said to Maria, I'm sure that's the Rocky steps, because you could see straight down. Yeah. And it was probably 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight or something.
Wow.
So Maria being Maria, we've got to go, you know, because that's the first time. So we headed out at 1 o'clock in the morning down to the steps and had our picture taken. But just seeing the statue and those steps for the first time, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But the tour was good. But then we came back and we met you, Mike. And
okay, I want you to talk very clear and very loud. No. I did. Hey, there we are. Look at these. Look at that. Huh?
Yeah, we came back and met you. And I'm not just saying it because you're on there, but that tour was so much better. And when I say better, it was the information you were giving. It was the thought that you were giving to me and Maria as well. Because don't forget, we were in your car. You were taking us around. And the kindness you showed us as well. That means everything as much as a tour to me.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
You
Know what I'm saying, and that's you. That is. That's that meant a lot to us as well.
You know, I remember early on, you guys. When I had start these tours a while back, I didn't think anyone would ever trust or believe me. Some guy with a black van, hey, come on over here. Why don't you take my tour? Huh? Get in the car. Come on.
Yeah.
But my process was always, how could I get people to trust me with their safety and their time, not to mention their money, because, you know, this is all these thoughts go through my mind. Yeah. And the thing I always had hoped for was the energy. And that's what you and your daughter brought. I remember this tour because I stayed in touch with the both of you. I've been able to talk with you over the years. And so I love that. And your energy was just infectious. Yeah. And I want to move on now to your second tour with me, which was 2020, February 21 or 22?
That's 22.
What was it?
22. Because what it was, we had the pandemic and we couldn't, and they had to put it back, and so we came with 22. Yeah,
that's what it was. You're totally right. Thank you. Yeah. So in 22, Marco Naylor and Sean Wallage. Yeah. Stacey, we've had them on the show, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we have. And so they put together this UK tour, and it was wonderful. We did a couple of days, dinner at the Victor Cafe. It was amazing. But something happened on that tour, Tony. And whenever I hear UK tour, you are the man I think of. You're the one guy I think of a lot of things, but you always come to mind first. And I've told your daughter this as well. Yeah. Do you remember the day we went to the Front Street Gym and Azadine was in the ring?
Yeah. And I was standing by you. Yeah,
you were standing right by me. He and Shuki.
Suki.
Suki is Jersey Shore. No. I love Suki. But I know there's a whole other character. Anyways, I'm standing next to you.
Yeah.
And I forget who's around us, but I remember you. And I remember I was getting very emotional watching Sean in the ring with Azadine, helping him fulfill a life's dream. And I remember talking to you about it. And you were feeling the same way I was. You were like, this guy who should never be in a boxing ring. He was this delicate type of guy. Taking punches and giving punches. What do you remember about that moment?
I do remember it, and I remember both of them going in, you know, Suki and Azadine. But Azadine, you know, absolutely great guy, Azadine, as is Suki. But I mean, it's
absolutely
so funny guy as well. And he got in the ring, and I spoke to him afterwards, and he said he'd never ever experienced anything like that in his life. Getting in the ring with Sean McFadden, you know, and I remember Mike standing by you, and I remember you know you're getting emotion, and I was thinking, guy, these guys are fulfilling a dream really in the Front Street Gym in that boxing ring.
Yes,
you know what I mean. And you know Sean McFadden, which I'll tell you a little bit about Sean in a moment. But Sean McFadden, what a guy, what a tremendous guy, honest to God. That man has still left an impression on me, even after 20. Absolutely left an impression on me, and he's such a genuine, lovely man, you know. And I think when he was on your podcast, wasn't he, when he said, you know, when he goes into the ring, he's completely different from when he is out of the ring, and that's true. That's true, you know. And but in that boxing, just seeing them two, and when they came out, you know, blood coming down the face.
Azadine, I remember Azadine's nose in his blood.
Yeah, that's right. But he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And
I remember he said, he goes, that was the longest 2 minutes of my life.
My life.
Great.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine?
I know. But, you know, hats off to Sean, you know, for Sean going in there and doing that and letting us into the Front Street Gym as well. You know, them guys were brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Oh my God, yeah.
And,
totally.
and it was amazing. And then Sean McFadden. Can I just say a little bit about Sean?
Go on, please go on.
Because the first night we got there on the tour, we went to some bar. I don't know where it was anyhow. And Sean came in and we said hello and we just, you know, chatted, had a drink and everything. And we were talking with Sean and Irene. Now, Sean, who's been on your podcast as well, Sean was over there, and I think it was Irene who brought it in for his birthday, but it was a year late because of obviously COVID.
Right.
And Sean, we were talking to Sean all night, and you knew Sean wanted to go and see the steps. You just knew. Yes. And the next day we were going on the tour, and I think it was Maria who said, why don't we take him up there now? So we came out of the pub and Sean McFadden came out and they said, where are you going? I said, well, we're just going to have a walk up the steps. And Sean said, you're going to be all right. And this is Sean McFadden, who we'd only just met, by the way.
Right.
Are you going to, yeah, we'll be fine. Anyhow, we walked and we took Sean and I into the steps and I said, or I think it was me or Maria or what, or both of us, we said, let's hang back and let Sean go. Because when the first time you go and see them steps or that statue, it means something. Right. Do you know what I mean? And we let him go, and I think he went to the statue first, and he went up the steps because we felt it would be better for him on his own rather than being with a crowd.
Right.
But then the next morning, and we walked back, we just laughed all the way back. Don't ask me why. Well, I do know why. There was a fire engine going by, and it was going that slow, and I said, God, by the time it gets there, the fire will be out. And it was just everybody was just laughing anyway. But the next morning we got up and Sean met us and he said, I feel really guilty. I said, why do you feel guilty? He said, I let you go up there on your own last night and I was really worried about you all night. And we'd only just met that man that night.
I know.
What a gentleman.
Total gentleman.
Yeah. And exactly. What an inspiration. You know, Rocky's an inspiration. Rocky's an inspiration, definitely. Yeah. But so is Sean McFadden. And so is his story as well. So
I would agree. Sean is an extraordinary human being, and I'm glad to be friends with him. Yeah, I'm also glad to be friends with mutual friends that you, your daughter Maria, and I have in common. Sean and Irene, who are just absolutely great. I mean, we had Sean on. When did we have Sean O'Donnell on the podcast?
He's about 4 back now.
Four back. Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant couple. Lovely couple.
One of the nicest couples I have met in the last 12,000 years. They really are just genuine, nice people. And you know what I love doing? I love doing with it's random because I never know. Life is so complicated and busy. I never know when I'm going to have a free moment. No. But I do these, I guess, Zoom calls or Facebook Zooms or whatever with them. Yeah. And it's the nicest thing. We'll sit here, we'll have a drink, and we'll talk about life. Sometimes it revolves around Rocky. Sometimes it revolves around mutual friends, and others it's just life. Just chatting life. And they are just two of the kindest people. So Sean and Irene, if you're watching, just much love to you guys.
They are lovely people, and they actually came over to Birmingham after the tour,
right?
Because Sean is a massive Black Sabbath fan.
Yes, he is
massive. Well, all Black Sabbath come from Birmingham, so what I did, I put my tour hat on as usual.
Nice.
And I took Sean and Irene around all where all the band lived, where they live now. Took them to all the houses, the schools they went to, and Ozzy Osbourne, where he was born.
Really?
Yeah. They had a great weekend, and absolutely lovely couple. Absolutely, I can't say
Black Sabbath tour.
Yeah. I have got to get out there. I've got to come out and spend some time with you guys, and you can take me around and show me the land.
Oh, well, yeah. I'll take you on the Ozzy Osbourne tour. That'll be okay. Black Sabbath.
I would love that. Seriously. I would love that.
But they are a really nice couple. And all that came from the Rocky tour. We wouldn't have met those two people if we weren't on that tour. Right. So that's the Rocky family, if you like, really.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if any, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know of any other film that brings people together like that. I know Star Wars has its conferences and stuff like that, but I'm on about films like Rocky bringing people together like that. I don't know of any other franchise like that.
Well, let me tell you this. You're familiar with Matt Damon and the Jason Bourne movies?
Yeah.
There's no Jason Bourne tour. Okay.
No.
There's not. The Lone Ranger. You remember the Lone Ranger?
Yeah.
Zorro. You remember Zorro? There's no Lone Ranger Zorro tour. Okay? No. There's no Star Wars tour. You cannot grab a lightsaber and get on the Millennium Falcon and fly to the Death Star and have a lightsaber duel with Vader. You can't. All right? You can't.
It's because Rocky is near the truth. And when you think about Rocky near the truth, just look at Sean McFadden's story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There it is in one, isn't it, really? Yeah, there it is in one. And what a lovely guy. Absolutely lovely guy.
Oh, totally.
And, he reminds me of my friend, Alan Smith, who's sadly died now, but he was my closest ever friend in all my life.
Did you send us any pictures of Alan?
I did send a picture of me and Alan, yes.
All right, let's see. Stace, let's see if we can find out that picture. I'd like to take a look at that.
I think it's an older one, Stacey, where I'm sat on a chair with him, and that's it. Yeah.
You have a big mustache or something, don't you?
I did have a mustache. Yeah,
like Tom Selleck. Magnum PI.
Yeah. But me and Alan, we were really close friends. We weren't friends at school. We met after school. But
oh, really?
Yeah. We just gelled. He knew what I was thinking. I knew what he was thinking.
I got you.
If we'd got a problem, we'd go to each other. And he was the bestest friend I've ever had. And every day I think about him. And we might not, because life takes over, doesn't it, when you get older?
Oh, yeah.
And we might not seen each other for years or spoke, but you pick the phone up and it's like we were with him yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was, he was an inspiration to me as well.
Really?
Yeah. Because he was a genuine nice man, really genuine nice man. And we were just really close. Mm-hmm. And, you lose people, I've lost my mom, lost my dad. Lost Alan, but there's not a day go by he doesn't come into my head.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. For whatever reason.
Just the randomness of life.
Stacey, Rocky's like that, isn't he, when he lost Mickey?
Oh, yeah. Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
He's the same. So, And that's what I'm saying about the different film.
Yeah.
It's real life, really. I know it's a fictional character.
Yeah.
It's real life.
Yeah.
Stacey, just throw up some random pictures. Let's just see whatever we have. Just throw some pictures up we haven't seen yet.
Sure.
And Tony, as they come up, just go ahead and tell us whatever it is that comes to mind.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Mostly what I have left here is you and your daughter Maria.
That's Maria. Yeah, there she is. There she is. Yeah, that's at the top of the Empire State Building in New
it
York.
is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and there we go again.
Yep. I just
It's
love
like
you too. Yeah,
it's like we're joined at the hip. You know, it's
No, you guys are the dynamic duo. You're like Batman and Robin. Seriously.
Right.
Now that picture, by the way, when Sean and Irene came to Birmingham, Maria invited some of the Rocky Tour people as a surprise, and that was in the restaurant where we all went into the restaurant with.
My invite must have got lost in the mail.
Right.
We did invite you, Mike, but you didn't want to come across. And there we go. You know, so lots of memories, but you know they're all good memories, and every day brings its challenges, even now. But you just get over them and you keep going forward. Yeah. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
And be the best person you can be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tony, that leads to me. That was a perfect segue, because we often talk about, you know, what would Rocky do, or those keep moving forward moments, and you've shared a lot. I have so much I could say. I do want to rewind just back to the beginning. You know, Sly, I don't think, you know, you said how genuine Sly is and how approachable he is, and nothing was ever handed to Sly. You know what I'm saying? And he understands what it means to really, you know, a farmer. That's a difficult way to make a living. You know, he had to do plenty of things that were very difficult just to eat. You know, and so I think you can never forget that. And I think he will always have an appreciation for, quote unquote, I don't want to say regular. I wish I could think of another word besides regular, but you know, the hardworking people of the world. It was very, very tough. The other thing that I love about all these guests, especially these last, I mean, all of them. I love all my guests. Let me make that clear. I always have this warm fuzzy in my chest every time I'm interviewing these folks. But I think for men in general, as I'm listening, and it just came to me today, is that I think Rocky allows men to be more emotionally available. You know, so, and I think, you know, we accuse men of not being emotionally available or not, you know, and all the guys that we've interviewed are, you know what I mean? And I think because Rocky was, and he found that one person that he could, you know, hide away with. And you said something about, I don't have that many friends. Well, I don't have that many friends. No. Mike says he doesn't have that many friends, but quality over quantity all day long. So, and Near the Truth, can I tell you, I love that. That's the difference between, you know, what Mike was just saying about there's no Jason Bourne tour, there's no Star Wars tour. And then you said, because Rocky's nearer to the truth. That I wrote it down. You nailed it. That is awesome. But would you mind sharing even one example where you were facing that moment, that keep moving forward moment, where you went, you know what? I'm gonna Rocky my way through this. What was that?
I mean, you know, I spoke about my mom and my dad. You know, my dad died. My dad died when he was 62, so he was for no age. You know, my mom died 10, 12 years ago. And when my mom died, I've got a sister as well, but when my mom died very, very suddenly. It was literally within about 10 minutes of me talking to her on the phone. It was that quick, honestly. And it was such a shock at that time. And then we had to arrange a funeral and all that sort of thing. And I was at a very low place then, because that was your mom. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You miss your dad, but that was my mom that was gone. And I often thought then, well, what am I going to do? You know, I put on this brave face, and but underneath, I wasn't really coping with it at all. And then you think, and you watch a couple of Rocky movies. I know it sounds silly, but you watch a couple of Rocky movies, and you know, keep punching, keep moving on. The world's a nasty place, but you've got to deal with it. And suddenly, you think, I've got to catch this now, and I've got to move over this hill. And that's the story. That's the philosophy of Rocky. And that's why I said he's real. Do you know what I mean? That character is real. You know, like we said earlier, you know, he couldn't go and train properly because he hadn't got the support from Adrian. As soon as she got the support, away he went. And I think that's the story of the man. And, you know, I'm emotional anyhow. I don't need, I've always been a wreck. I've always been an emotional wreck, you know. But I think you're right. I think Rocky allowed men to be that, really. And I don't think that's an exaggeration either. I think that is true. That is a fact. And it's just, the films are just tremendous. I remember, you know, and it's clear now, I'll go into the local cinema and you're walking up and you see the billboard on the front, Rocky, you know, and you think it's going to be a boxing movie. Like I said earlier, but you go in and then you're halfway through the film and you think this is more than a boxing movie. And even me, a 22-year-old, knew that.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? You know, you knew. And that's why I had to go back and see it again and again, because I miss bits. If you know, you see bits every time you go and see it. And tremendous. Absolutely. You got to thank Sylvester Stallone for that character. Whatever anybody
every day I thank him. Every day of the year.
But I've got to say, I've got to say, the tour, Mike, and I'm not just saying it because you're there, it's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely. We've had a couple of tours with you now, and they are unbelievable. Unbelievable. And when we came over last time and we went to Victor's as well for the meal, what a tremendous time we had. Absolutely.
You and I sat next to each other, I think.
We did.
We did. But I did that on purpose. I saw all the people that were sitting and I go, all right, how can I get close to Tony P? This is a guy I just like hanging out with him. He's just chill. He's cool. I love that. I do. So when are we going to get you back? You got to bring Maria back to the city. Come on back.
We've got to come back at some point, haven't we, really? You know, so we'll be back there. Don't worry.
But we don't even have to do a Rocky tour. Let's just go hang out for the day. And then we'll go get a coffee. We'll go to Victor's. If Stacy isn't doing anything with her time,
she might come over.
You come on up.
Well, I didn't know actually whether to call Stacy or Michelle.
Right
after the last one, Michelle Pfeiffer. I didn't know whether to call her.
I know. Stacey has a new admirer. My God.
I didn't know what to call you, Stacey. I was going to actually serenade you as well with the you know, with the Rocky. Do 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 do.
Nice.
But, but we will be back, Mark. We will be back because it's a tremendous. You know, just, as I said, in 1976, I never thought I'd be going and seeing where Rocky was filmed. I never thought I'd be meeting Sylvester Stallone. I never thought I'd be meeting such nice people in the Rocky group. I never thought I'd be meeting you. You know, it's all just grown from Rocky. When you think about it, it's all come from Rocky.
It's amazing. It
is.
It really is such a universal connector that never gets old. No. I mean, it never does. Stacy, before we let Tony go, before we let him go home, because it's getting late over there, Tony. I know it is.
Yeah, it's okay.
But before we let him go, anything else you want to add, Stace?
Well, obviously, Rocky also allows gentlemen to be romantic, which is adorable.
There you go.
Romantic? Where are you going with this?
Yeah, where's this happening?
He's a handsome guy. He is. No, thank you. You know what? I've said it 1,000 times that Rocky is a formula for life, and you've clearly plugged that in. You know, probably 100 times in your life, and I love that. Like every episode is like an induction of a new person into our Rocky bubble because they
Rocky
get
Hall
it.
of Fame.
It's like this prescription you apply to your life, and some people just apply it a little more deeply, a little more into their heart and into their bones, and you can feel it. You know, you can feel the difference. And I'm so happy that your family is so supportive of you, and of course your daughter is crazy like us. So that's great.
Brilliant. Yeah, they're brilliant.
Yeah.
And my two grandchildren, you know, Jack and Flynn. You know, Jack's 12 and Flynn's 6, and Maria's getting Jack into Rocky as well.
Oh, I saw the bathrobe. I saw it on Marie's page.
Getting into everything, and like I said, you need the family support as well. you know, the daughters, partner, everybody. You need the family support, and that's what Rocky needed. He needed that support as well.
Yeah.
And we support him. You know, we support Sly Stallone now. You know, and he has a lot of support from his fans, definitely.
You know, I want to say something, and then I'm gonna ask Tony my last question. I love asking everybody, but I want to, you know, I've been going through a bit of a little issue here, a bit of an issue, and so I'm not ready to talk about it just yet. But you know, Tony, it was so nice because you had sent me a very lovely message along with your grandkids. And that was, I wanted to tell you, the thought that went into that is so sweet and so kind and generous. I really appreciate it. And it's just more of that Rocky indoctrination into just, you know what, if there's something kind, if you feel someone needs a lift up, go ahead and call that person. Go ahead and reach out and say something. Don't wait. Don't feel self-conscious about it. Just reach out and tell someone. So, Tony, thank you so much for that.
That's no problem. And, you know, that's if people need help or support, I'll always be there. Always be there for them. And hopefully they'll be there for me as well. So, that's not a problem, Mike, all the time, anytime.
Well, you need somebody to come over and break somebody's thumbs, break somebody's ankles. You call me. I'll get on a plane. I'll get there. Okay.
Yeah. No problem. No problem.
All right. So my second to last question is: you said your daughter Maria.
Yeah.
You said she's a Rocky fan, right?
Yeah.
All right. I know that. I just needed you to confirm.
Yeah, she's a Rocky fan.
Yeah. She's a little lunatic like the rest of us. So I've had the pleasure of discussing Rocky with her over the last couple of years. Yeah. What's it going to take to get her on the podcast?
Oh, Mike, it'd take a lot because she'd
really?
She is a giggler. Let me tell you.
Is she anywhere near you right now?
She's in the bedroom. I've sent her into the bedroom.
Can you give her a yell? Can you just give her a yell real quickly to come out?
Maria? No. Maria. Just come and say hello.
Just say hello.
She's coming now. So I banished her to the bedroom because she just made me laugh. You know, she's just, when she starts, I start. You know,
yeah.
Are you coming? Yes, you do. She's coming. See what trouble I have, you know. It's just good. But she's a massive Rocky fan. Massive Rocky.
Yes, she is.
And you know, while we're waiting for all the Rocky films, the music, the story, the philosophy, you can't beat them.
No, I agree.
Beat them. You cannot.
I agree 100%.
You know, and I've in my older years now, and I've never seen any films like it at all. Never.
Right. No, me either. Supposedly, The Godfather is good. Supposedly, Citizen Kane is good.
Yeah. But they're not as good as Rocky because, as I said, Rocky's real. You know, when you think of the stories and everything, and it's just a real person, isn't it?
Exactly.
I think so. Are you coming, Maria? Come on. We're waiting. We've got to go to bed at midnight.
Yeah, we don't have all day here, Maria.
Here she is. Come on, Maria. Come on. You got to say
hello. No, sit down. Sit down, Maria.
Oh my God. Come and sit here. Come here.
Sit down.
Come a minute. Come here. Come and sit by me. That's it. There she is.
Hello.
There she is.
I was not expecting this.
No, she wasn't. No, she set me all up, and I was nervous coming on. I've got to tell you, and
you're so good though.
She calmed me down. Yeah.
I was doing breathing exercises and everything.
Maria, what's it like, Maria, to have a dad who understands Rocky so profoundly? How did that affect you in growing over the years?
Well, I think I've kind of forced it on him a bit. Yeah, but luckily he goes along with it and he loves it. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
I think if it wasn't for Maria, Mike Stacey, I wouldn't have been over to Philadelphia. I wouldn't have been to New York. I wouldn't have been to Washington. It was this one that did it. Do you know what I
So,
mean?
Maria, you knew what this meant to your dad. You knew the connection he has with Rocky, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you booked the airplanes, the hotels, everything to get him to come to it. Okay.
Yeah, but it's not that. I think it was a bit selfish as well because I wanted to go. It wasn't all for him.
There we go.
Right.
There we go. Yeah.
Well, the thing I find that's interesting, and I don't know if you remember this, but I was teasing your dad about how kind the both of you were when I thought, oh, I'm showing them Rocky Land for the first time. Never once did you ever say, well, we took another Rocky tour, but yours was fine. Never once.
But we didn't know you existed then. That's why.
So had you known, I would have been.
You would have been the first choice. Absolutely.
The only choice.
The only choice. Yeah, that's right, Stacey. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right, Maria, when are we going to get you on your own episode? Because I'm sensing there's stuff underneath the layers that we can talk to you for a little bit.
I don't know.
We'll work on her. Yeah.
Keep working on her, Stacey.
I need like 2 bottles of vodka first, and then
I can tease her though. I was messaging her this morning. Can I tease you? Do you know exactly what I'm going to show? Don't you? Hang on a second. Look at her comment. This is for the girls.
No.
So excited to see this delicious.
How embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're the same person.
Brilliant.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely.
I forgot that was on there.
I could just see her with a bib and like a fork and a knife, drizzling some honey over him. That's funny.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, don't go anywhere, Maria, because actually, no, we're not gonna ask you this question. This is just for your dad, but I want you to hear what he has to say. We'll save this question for you whenever you come on to do the show. Tony.
Yeah.
You got 30 seconds in an elevator with Sylvester Stallone. What do you tell him?
Right. I'd shake him by the hand. I'd say, Sylvester, thank you for the Rocky movies that you bought and all the joy you brought to me and my daughter. I'd like to say, if we can ever meet up for a coffee one time, I'd love to do that. I'd then get out of the lift and say, can you go back up to the 15th floor and pick my daughter up because she'd love to talk to you as well. And that's what I'd say.
A true dad.
That's a true dad. Yeah.
Dad.
What a good dad.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, definitely.
Tony, one of the best answers by far. Thank you so much for your time and trusting us that we're going to take good care of you. And Maria, thank you for coming on to the show.
God.
This is awesome. I'm sure we'll be catching up in the future.
Yes.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And listen, until then, keep
punching.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
They're a great dynamic duo, aren't they?
Yes. They're like captain of the warm fuzzies. I just
Now,
love that.
You know, like I think about them and I think what Rocky would say. They're like peanut butter and jelly. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're just great. You know?
See, and this is the thing. I mean, I post all the time, episode 65, 66. I mean, it was a little different, the response when I first posted him, because I didn't know him. I know you know him, so I knew it was going to be a good guest, but I didn't really know him. And then the response was so warm. It was a little extra. It was a little bit, oh, great guy. I can't repeat them all, but I was just like, oh, this is going to be special. I knew it was going to have an extra special heart thing to it. And
I am so glad you said that, Stacey, because here is, and everybody watching right now, just give me 30 seconds to gush about Tony because he's a guy I genuinely care about.
Yeah.
So anyone who knows me knows I'm not spiritual, I'm not religious, but there was a book and then I think a movie and a podcast and an audio book out called The Secret.
Yeah.
I don't know, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And there are, although I don't believe in the mysticism of The Secret, I do believe in the underlying core principle.
Right.
And that was what you put out into the universe is what you get back.
Correct. Yeah.
And Tony Peach is one of these guys who he's not a complicated human being. He shows up, he puts out a calm demeanor, a very loving nature, and that's what the man gets back.
Right.
And that's, if we could all do that, could you imagine if we were all a little more like Tony Peach, what this planet would be like? It would be better. Religiously, politically, I mean,
all of
across
it.
the board, it would just be a little bit better. Don't you think?
Well, it's just that good old fashioned goodness that he possesses. And so it's gone. It's crazy right now. And people are just bent on division. I'm like, folks, we have far more in common than not. And
agreed.
And why are we focusing on the 5% that we might feel differently on something where, I don't know. He's just, he brings that old school warmth and goodness and just trying to think of the word, but I can't think of it anyway.
You know what? Let's just go with the mystical wanderings of Tony Peach. We'll just leave it at that.
Yes.
Hey, Stacey, what else are we? What else? Anything you want to talk about on the way out of here?
Yes. Speaking of family and the importance of family and the importance of those of us who are Rocky fans, because not every Rocky fan has the support to be crazy the way we are. And I just want to point out our very dear Brian Safard. He was episode, what was he? 25. So head back to episode 25. He has a beautiful story and he has a beautiful family, and his wife, Tiffany, it's their anniversary. So we just wanted to
congratulations,
say happy anniversary. And that's his daughter, Addison. And, if this family, they're just adorable. They're so sweet and talk about goodness and wholesomeness.
Yeah,
I think that's the word, wholesomeness. We've lost some wholesomeness, and
Can we go back to
have
his,
that.
Go back to his headshot again?
Sure.
Jesus, look at how handsome he is.
Handsome dude, right?
Jesus Christ. I didn't realize he was this handsome.
Yeah.
Look at him. I mean, he's got a little bit of George Clooney. He's got a little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to say Brad Pitt. It's not Brad Pitt. Maybe Jerry O'Connell. There's a little Jerry O'Connell thing there.
I see that. Yes.
Okay. But my God, this guy I have never realized how handsome he was. Jesus, I think I have a man crush.
See, Rocky making men more emotionally available. Yes. I love it.
Yes.
Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to Tiffany for not just supporting him, but she buys him gifts. She got him that epic blanket, and I just, it's like, it's so easy if you have a Rocky fan in your life, like, you know what to buy them for every.
Where can people go if people want to buy the Rocky fan in their life? There's two places you can go.
Yes.
One, where's the first place? That's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it has the Sly Stallone shop, and then number 2 is Contenders Clothing, who we just had on, Chris J.
Just had him on
a couple episodes back. Yep, they have awesome. Speaking of Contenders, because they gave us that 30% off.
I just filled it. Yeah, I bought a bunch.
So I didn't get it all yet. So next episode, I have more than Kevin knows that I bought. And so I
didn't tell Sue either.
Yeah, we're gonna go through my Contenders haul, but they have great clothes too. Yeah.
What? What? $1,100 in underwear is wrong? I'm sorry.
They have no women's underwear. Yeah, I have got to call Chris because I have about 100 ideas for more women's stuff at Contenders if they would listen to me.
Women's underwear. Should we be talking about this here? I don't know.
That might be a cut.
That might be a cut. Hey, Stacey, anything else before we get out of here?
Oh, there's this cool book out there. Do you know where to get this?
I do. It's called To the Rocky Music. This is a little tiny memoir with no big words in it. It kind of explains why I'm so mentally irregular. You guys will appreciate it. You can buy it anywhere books are sold. I have a tour that is currently called the Yo Philly Rocky Film Tour, and you can find that anywhere online. You can find me at the Yo Philly Film Tour on Instagram. So check us out. Stacey, where can we find you?
I am at Had Me at Yo on Instagram, and the Rocky Files and the Rocky Files podcast on Facebook.
Stacey, did you ever see the documentary? I was browsing documentaries the other day.
Yeah.
It was called The Pretender.
Boom.
My God, Jimmy Toscano will kill me. I forgot to mention that. The Pretender. People, go check it out. I know it's on Amazon Prime. It's on Peacock Television, Tubi Television. It's on a lot of streaming services, except stupid Netflix, who turned us down.
What?
Fools. Yes. I feel like sicking Clubber Lang on them.
Mhm.
You know?
I agree.
Don't give this sucker no money for the streaming services. Go to Amazon Prime. Anyways, Stacey, I am so glad to have done this podcast with you. We are going to do another one next week, and I can't wait.
Sounds good. Episode 73 in the bag.
Episode 73 in the bag. Everybody, keep punching.
Punching.
Bye, Stace.
Bye-bye.